All right, you fans are definitely enraged at the moment. Just now, the WNBA removed anything crazy, giving the precise same referees from the game versus the Lynx Mercury. Catastrophe. That one, indeed. To the state of Indiana. Semi-finals between the Fever and the Las Vegas Aces. Yes, exactly. The same referees who received the suspension of Cheryl Reeves has now abruptly overseeing Caitlin Clark's largest, not yet a playoff test. Indeed, individuals are calling this outright corruption. What do you think, then? Did you? These referees are specifically chosen by the league to attempt to slant the game?
It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those three people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players. I think it's crap. And there's no call. And all of them said, it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that. Awful.
Okay, let's really investigate this. Complete chaos since, wow, the WNBA has formally lost the plot. Distributing Randy Richardson, Isaac Barnett, and Jana, the same crew that completely blew the Minnesota game against the Fever, against the semi-final Aces. It's not just crazy. Not everyone is tone deaf. It's a enormous slap in the face to each and every supporter who has already called out the league for their blatant incapacity.
Let's jump right in. I want to start with the play that set off all of the chaos. Everything else that we will talk about, there is one play that set off all of it, and it is this steal that Alyssa Thomas made on Napheesa Collier. So this was at the end of the game. Fee is dribbling down, and Alyssa Thomas goes across her body, steals the ball, and then takes the ball full court for a layup on the other end, and that pretty much sealed the deal for the Phoenix Mercury. They won last night's game, but I want to show you guys the close-up. This was not ruled a foul, and I am dumbfounded by the amount of people online, even the amount of professionals online who are saying that this is no foul. And the reason that they're saying that it is no foul is, as you can see here, Alyssa Thomas reaches across, and when she reaches across, you can pause the video here, she gets all ball first. Okay, so no. Was there any foul when she was tapping the ball away? No, it seems like there's no contact there. She strips the ball clean. But as you can see, the angle in which Alyssa Thomas is running across Fee, Fee's going this way, Alyssa Thomas is going this way. Fee is in full motion. You can even see, again, with this screenshot, the angle in which Fee's body is going. She is going full speed in one direction. She is running in one direction. And Alyssa Thomas cuts her off in that.
All right, let's go back in time and discuss what actually occurred during that Lynx Mercury match. Since Cheryl Reeve didn't suddenly explode without cause, isn't that right? She actually observed Alyssa Thomas completely dominate Napheesa Collier's vitality. I mean, no protection, no whistles, nothing at all. Erratic phone calls. Collier had a limp, off the court in agony. And those referees, they pretended that everything was completely all right. Here's the worst part, though. As soon as Reeve ventured to call for some responsibility, boom, fined, suspended. Her helper, fined as well. The whole coaching staff was disciplined for simply pointing. Reveal the very evident reality. The officiating was complete shit. Right now, you can truly see Cheryl Reeve talking about stuff on Sports Center even more.
Was it that asked about officiating for the game? Was that you, Kendra? And we talked about how dangerous it can be. You're hearing it from the other series. You're hearing other coaches. You're hearing Becky talk about when you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants.
Let's fast forward to the present day. The Fever Despite Caitlin Clark's absence during injury-related stretches this season, they managed to claw their way into the playoffs. The Thar line was born. Every Fever game meant crazy, really. Ratings. All of the arenas were full. Suddenly, Boston, Mitchell, Clark. In essence, they gave the WNBA relevance. Once more. Thus, how does the league make the decision to reward for all that amazing momentum?
By
supplying them with identical referees who simply, completely embarrass the sport as a whole. Supporters are not stupid. The pattern is visible to them. These particular referees have already received a track record of inconsistency, petty and, to be honest, careless.
and now,
They are presiding over Clark's most important
stage.
That's not merely dubious, you gentlemen. It's blatantly careless.
We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0. And she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership.
All right, let's examine the league in more detail. Level of malpractice in this case, since it's crazy. Let's examine the figures from that game of Lynx Mercury. Minnesota moved at the free throw line, 13 for 21, and despite having a 10-rebound advantage, they were still defeated.
Why?
Since the referees swallowed their whistles whole. Each time Phoenix became violent, Alyssa Thomas might have been summoned to a dozen fouls, but nothing came of it. Collier hobbled away. The explosion of Cheryl Ree, and the referees simply left unharmed.
Get this now.
The same referees are intended to oversee Boston, Clark, and Mitchell versus Jackie, Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Young. Please, this is complete malpractice. And everyone saw. Throughout the game, Lexi Hall was pushed like elbowed hard. Even fans have receipts. It was blatantly reported by Scott Agnes. The semi-final of the Fever Aces will be run by Randy Richardson, Isaac Barnett, and the same team, Jana. No changes, no responsibility. The league essentially stated, yes, we are aware of you. Disliked them, but we don't give a damn.
And
People are calling for precisely that reason. This corruption. Because if you were attempting to slant the odds in favor of Vegas, this is the precise method.
give them.
Referees who have previously demonstrated that they will allow things go downhill. Referees who discipline coaches for raising their voices, and referees who gulp their whistles as soon as the game physical. Additionally, when the aces flourish on, who precisely does physicality help? And let's not act as though this is brand new, due to the fact that supporters have been grumbling about the officiating during the season. In particular, in relation to Caitlin Clark.
She's
Been elbowed, pushed, hacked, and stumbled with hardly a whistling sound, and opponents body checking her in a manner similar to it's hockey, rather than safeguarding These referees are the league's most valuable star. Simply turn your head away. Additionally, when suspensions, someone does call it out. And alright, it's become so clear that even casual followers are wondering if even the league wants Clark to be successful. You guys, that's how horrible it is. Rather, of taking use of the enormous Clark consequence, they're deliberately undermining it with referees that don't appear to curious about justice. Furthermore, to be honest, here, the irony speaks for itself. According to the WNBA, they wish to expand the game. They air ads pleading with viewers to accept the upcoming generation. Next in the year's most watched playoff run, the most despised referee crew is assigned to the much-anticipated match. That isn't expansion. It's self-defeating. Examine what's on the line. Aces versus Fever. might have been the year's best series. Caitlin Clark, a celebrity in her second year, confronting the current MVP, A.A. Wilson, and emblem of the Aces family, Boston versus. In the paint, Wilson. Mitchell is opposed to. Youthful. This had every element of a classic. However, rather than promoting the matchup, the only topics that people are discussing are the officials. There is no strategy debate among fans, or rotations or matches. They're arguing over Clark's chances of survival. The officiating, that is simply pitiful, and the league is solely responsible. Let's get particular to these referees. Barnett Isaac is infamous for having fast technicals and handling. They were out of sheer annoyance. Thus, if Clark gives a fist clap following a missed tech, give me a call. If White contests a too loud of a whistle tech, Wilson may demolish Boston in the meanwhile. The paint, and it's a no call in some way. Randy Richardson is not always reliable at best. Touch fouls, one possession. WWE wrestling comes next. Not a beat. Chaos. Without consistency. Additionally, Jana. Fans are the third participant in this trio. Figuratively refer to her as invisible as she vanishes when the game becomes difficult. The semifinals are being run by that person. There is more to this than a conspiracy. It's incapacity. Additionally, ineptitude in this level simply seems to have crooked fans. Been spreading the word about this on social media. How are the same references assigned? Who just put a coach on suspension? How are you? Product protection through the use of officials. Everyone despises? How do you disregard your own paying clients? The responses are easy. The WNBA is unconcerned. They're hoping that fans will still watch. They believe that controversy equates to opinions, but dispute that isn't fair just utterly destroys credibility. Let's now bring up Caitlin Clark once more. She is a second-year student. She is the largest name in the league. She sells out traveling arenas. She snaps ratings records, and in place of. In order to protect her, the league is essentially refs who dare to ignore the whistle. Once more, she was lambasted by fans all season. Currently in the playoffs alongside the same referees. What do you believe will occur? X. Already, Boston has carried a large portion of the burden since Clark's harm. Mitchell has taken charge. Lexi Hall has endured suffering by playing. This group has put up a valiant fight to make. It's right here. And the big plan of the league. The same three should be in front of them. Authorities who have already made the athletics. Fans are therefore completely furious. Additionally, keep in mind that the Aces are essentially the golden child of the WNBA. Vegas is the market for money. They possess the star power, the glitz, and the ownership. In the finals, the league wants them. Everyone is aware of it. Thus, when admirers view the same referees who previously saved them, assigned once again, it doesn't appear to coincidental. It appears to be partiality. Additionally, bias utterly destroys. Have faith. The purpose of sports is to competition. On merit, you win or lose. However, when the referees take center stage, fans lose faith. And after fans quit, they cease to observe, believing. Additionally, once they stop viewing and sponsors cease making the payment, the really slippery slope is that the WNBA is currently in play. Let's preserve it. Actual attendance for playoff games is low. To observe the referees, they watch to see. The stars are bright. Their one is to see Caitlin Clark made 3-pointers for the logo. They're hoping to see Boston and Wilson fight in the paint. They're hoping to see Mitchell cook defenders. However, the referees have become the star of the show. That's the main issue. It's not even about a single game. It has to do with a distinct pattern. The WNBA has repeatedly demonstrated that They will shield some players and allow other people are hacked. Wilson receives the whistling. Clark receives elbows. Stewart receives phone calls. Boston is robbed. That twofold. Fans are absolutely being driven by the standard.
Nuts.
They're not dumb. They are able to see who the league desires to be promoted. Now consider contemplating what would occur if this crew really affects the result. Consider a close one is lost by the fever. Mitchell is on
Fire.
Boston is fighting.
Clark is
Creating doubles, and suddenly a phantom appears. Boston is removed by foul or Clark is struck on the arm. Not a whistle. Quickly shatter the opposite manner. Momentum kills. That isn't basketball. Fans and manipulation are what that is. Won't pardon it. We've already witnessed the fallout. Following the Lynx match, Cheryl Reeve lost it. She yelled at the referees, yelled at supporters, and criticized the league in a press conference. Additionally, rather than the WNBA acknowledging that the officials made a mistake, she was suspended and the league's most successful coach because she brought the truth to light. And now those. Caitlin Clark's semifinal is given by the same referees. It's not simply poor visuals. It's pure humor. And that's exactly why fans are furious, since they believe the league aggressively opposes them. The fever scuttles its way into disagreement. Additionally, rather than celebrating the league, they are thrown into a maze of dishonest officials. Vegas. The benefit goes to the Golden franchise. The underdog, Indiana, that truly brings ratings. It's a disaster.
It's
completely in reverse. And this is the kicker. Fans aren't even interested in seeing the finals run of another AC. Social media. Surveys indicate that watch parties demonstrate it. Viewership demonstrates it. People are fed up with. The focus is on Vegas. They desire fresh blood. They desire Boston, Clark, and Mitchell on the largest stage. That's how the game is developed. That's how you attract casual admirers. However, rather than with that in mind, the league doubles on the ace. Additionally, don't assume fans not observed. Simply have a look at the remarks beneath each league post. Corrupt, rigged, and Caitlin protecting. References are interfering with the game. This isn't a bunch of trolls. The paying viewers. These are the purchasers. Tickets, watching games via streaming services, and wearing jerseys, and it makes them feel deceived.
It's
becomes so terrible that even opposing coaches are voicing their opinions, like Becky Hammond, who has no justification for publicly defending Indiana. The officiating was criticized earlier this
year.
That demonstrates the extent to which its frustration, due to the fact that when even the league's most successful team is doubting, you're in a crisis, referees.
So where
are we left with this? The fever is gazing at a semifinal in which each whistle or its absence will be examined closely. Each time Clark receives, fans will yell conspiracy if they are bumped. Whenever Wilson receives a gentle call, supporters will be furious. And that's the poisonous setting that the league established by putting the staff to work. Let's examine why this is taking place. According to some, it's partiality. It is considered inept by some. It's both, to be honest. The WNBA desires. It's flashy, therefore Vegas is in the finals. However, they lack sufficient quality as well. Referees to manage games under pressure. Thus, they simply reuse the same names. Once those referees have blown phone calls, friends, that's a recipe for catastrophe. This is where the cruel irony lies. The league's moneymaker is Caitlin Clark. She is the one who sells and drives ratings. Arenas investing funds in the league's wallet. However, rather than, they're setting her up while defending her to be bombarded without any calls.
That's
biting the hand that feeds, literally.
You.
Let's examine each player separately. The anchor for the entire year has been Boston. She has fought Wilson head-to-head and demonstrated her eligibility for the MVP. Dialogue. However, see how these referees deal with her. Wilson will prod the post and Boston somehow manages to whistled. That has been the entire season, and things are going to become rather enlarged during the postseason.
Kelsey.
Mitchell occasionally carries the fever. However, she is not a league favorite. Therefore, when she makes touch, don't anticipate a whistle. In the meanwhile, Jackie Young